A homeless woman returns a lost wallet, never knowing the owner is a millionaire who falls for her. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It is quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let us return to our main character. The wind bites hard that morning, pushing dust along the sidewalk as Maya tightens the frayed strap of her worn backpack. She has walked since sunrise, stopping at every cafe, every corner store, every tiny office with a handwritten "Help Wanted" sign taped to the glass. Each time, she receives the same answer. "We are not hiring. Try again next week. Sorry, we already filled the position." Her legs ache, but the thought of spending another freezing night behind the old laundromat forces her to keep moving. She brushes her hair from her eyes, straightens her thrift store coat, and rehearses the same hopeful line she has told 30 times today. "Hi, I am looking for work. Any position is fine." She steps off the curb, heading toward the next block, when her shoe nudges something on the ground. A leather wallet, dark brown, thick, expensive in a way she has only seen from a distance. It lies half open, as if dropped in a hurry. For a moment, she simply stares at it. No one else notices. People rush past her, wrapped in their own worlds, their own problems. Maya kneels, picks it up gently, and flips it open. The inside is immaculate. Several crisp cards, a photograph of a city skyline, and a driver's license tucked neatly behind a transparent sleeve. The man in the picture looks serious, composed, the kind of man who probably never walks down these streets. Her throat tightens. She has not eaten a real meal in almost a day. She knows a wallet like this contains enough cash to buy food, maybe even rent a motel for the night. But she also knows it belongs to someone who is probably searching for it desperately. She closes it carefully, almost reverently. "No," she whispers, shaking her head. "It is not mine." She looks around again, confirming that no one is paying attention to her. Then she moves with purpose, heading toward the nearest police station. The cold air digs through her sleeves, but she hugs the wallet close, protecting it as if it were fragile. A bus drives past, splashing a puddle across the curb. Maya steps back just in time, but something slips through the wallet. A small card, half stuck, half falling. She catches it before it hits the wet concrete. It is not a credit card. It is not a membership card. It is a metallic business card, heavy, engraved with a single embossed name. She reads it aloud in a small breath. Ethan Cole. The name means nothing to her, but in less than 24 hours, that name will turn her entire life upside down. The cold remains sharp as Maya walks toward the nearest police station, clutching the wallet as if it were something living. Her fingers feel stiff, but she does not loosen her grip. The building is small, tucked between a laundromat and an insurance office, its windows glowing with a weak morning light. Inside, an officer looks up from his desk. "Ma'am, can I help you?" Maya nods quickly, her voice soft but steady. "I found this on the street. I think someone lost it." The officer opens the wallet, brows lifting. "This is a very expensive wallet." He checks the ID. "Ethan Cole. Last name sounds familiar." Maya does not react. Ethan Cole means nothing to her. She just waits, arms folded tight against her ribs, trying to stop the cold from crawling deeper into her chest. "We will try to contact the owner," the officer says. "You did the right thing." But Maya hesitates, then adds, "Can you let him know I did not touch anything? I just found it by accident." The officer gives her a curious look, and for a second, she wonders if he sees through her thin coat, the worn backpack, the exhaustion she tries to hide. "You have my word," he says. Maya thanks him, steps back outside, and the wind rushes in like a punishment. She pulls her coat tighter, walking away, trying to tell herself she did something small but good today. One good thing in a long string of difficult days. She does not know that a patrol car drives the wallet directly to a private office downtown. She does not know that the officer notices the metallic business card, places it on top, and writes a note beside it. She does not know that this tiny action will create a line of consequence that will follow her all day. Hours pass. Maya keeps searching for work. She asks at a small diner, a gas station, a flower shop. All rejections. As the sun sinks, she walks toward the bridge where she sometimes sits to rest her legs. Then a black SUV turns onto the quiet street behind her. It slows, then stops. The engine hums low, steady. Maya stiffens, ready to move aside. But the door opens, and a man steps out. He is tall, sharply dressed, and carries a presence she feels before she fully sees his face. "Excuse me," he calls gently. "Are you Maya?" Her breath catches. No one usually says her name out loud. "Yes," she answers slowly. "Can I help you?" The man stops a few feet away, keeping his distance as if not wanting to frighten her. His eyes are calm, controlled, yet filled with something urgent beneath the surface. "My name is Ethan Cole." Maya freezes. The wallet, the photograph, the metallic card that nearly fell into the puddle. He reaches into his coat and holds up the same wallet she turned in, now sealed in a clear evidence sleeve. "I was told you found this," he says, "and that you brought it to the police instead of keeping anything inside." Maya nods, unsure what he wants from her. "I just did what anyone would do." But Ethan shakes his head slowly. That is not true. Most people would not walk 20 blocks in the cold to return something they could have used for themselves. His voice softens. "I want to talk to you, just for a moment. May I?" Maya looks at him, the exhaustion in her body colliding with a strange new tension she cannot explain. She does not know him, yet something about his tone feels safe. She finally answers with a cautious whisper. "All right." Ethan gestures toward the SUV, but he does not move closer. He gives Maya enough space to breathe, as if he senses how fragile her trust might be. The late afternoon sun casts a long shadow behind him, stretching across the sidewalk like a quiet bridge between two very different worlds. "I know this is unexpected," Ethan says, steady and composed, "but I wanted to thank you in person." Maya swallows lightly. "You do not have to. I did not do anything special." Ethan studies her for a moment, noticing the way she keeps her arms folded, the way her shoes are worn thin, the way she tries to look strong, even when the wind pushes against her. "People keep telling me that kindness is rare," he says. "You prove that it still exists." He opens the SUV door. "Would you allow me to drive you somewhere warmer, even just to a cafe? You look like you have had a long day." Maya hesitates. She is cautious by necessity, but there is something honest in his tone. She nods slowly. "Only if it is nearby." Ethan smiles gently. "It is." She steps into the SUV, the warmth spreading across her stiff fingers. The interior is clean, subtle, nothing flashy despite the vehicle being clearly expensive. Ethan enters on the other side and speaks softly to the driver. "Please take us to Harbor Street Cafe." The car pulls away from the curb. Maya sits quietly, absorbing the silence. She glances at Ethan, noticing the faint tiredness around his eyes, the kind that comes from long nights and heavy responsibility. He breaks the silence first. "The police officer told me you turned the wallet in right away. You did not look through anything. You did not ask for a reward." Maya looks down at her hands. "I would not feel right doing anything else." Ethan nods slowly, almost as if that answer means more to him than she realizes. "May I ask what you were doing in that part of town?" There is a long pause. Maya considers lying, but she finds no strength to pretend. "I was looking for work." Her voice softens with a hint of defeat. "All day. No one had anything available." Ethan listens without interrupting, and that alone feels like a luxury she has not been offered in a long time. The SUV stops in front of a small cafe with warm lights glowing from the windows. Inside, the smell of fresh coffee washes over them. Maya sits at a corner table, warming her hands around a hot cup Ethan insisted on ordering for her. She takes a breath, letting the heat settle into her bones. "Thank you," she murmurs. "It has been a while since I sat somewhere like this." Ethan folds his hands on the table. "Maya, I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly, not proudly." She raises her eyes. "Do you have a place to stay tonight?" Her throat tightens. She looks away, unable to meet his gaze. "I will figure something out." Ethan does not press her. He simply lets the truth settle between them. "You should not have to figure it out alone," he says softly. Not after what you did for me. Not after the courage you showed. Maya shakes her head lightly. I do not want pity. This is not pity, Ethan replies. His voice deepens, calm but firm. This is responsibility and gratitude. He reaches into his coat, pulls out a small envelope, and places it on the table. This is not charity. It is a temporary arrangement. I want to offer you a few nights at a hotel that I own. A safe place to rest. No conditions. No expectations. Maya stares at the envelope as if it might disappear. I do not know what to say. You can say yes, Ethan answers gently. Or you can say no. But I hope you will trust me just a little longer. The cafe lights soften around them, and for the first time in days, Maya feels a thin thread of warmth pull her towards something she has almost forgotten. Hope. Maya sits very still, staring at the envelope as if it carries weight far heavier than paper. The warmth from the coffee cup seeps into her palms, but her chest remains tight, caught between gratitude and fear. Ethan does not rush her. He waits with a quiet patience that unsettles her far more than pressure ever could. She finally whispers, "Why are you doing this for me?" Ethan leans forward slightly, his voice low and sincere. "Because you reminded me of something I lost a long time ago. A sense that people can be good, even when the world gives them every reason not to be." Maya lowers her eyes. "I did not do anything extraordinary." "You did something honest," Ethan replies. "And honesty is harder than most people admit." Silence settles again, gentle and heavy. Outside the cafe window, the sky turns a deeper shade of blue as evening crawls in. Maya watches headlights pass, each car heading somewhere she cannot imagine belonging. She touches the edge of the envelope. "If I accept this, it does not mean I owe you anything." Ethan nods without hesitation. "You do not owe me a single thing." His certainty disarms her. It is the first time in months someone has spoken to her without hidden judgment or transactional tone. She exhales slowly, the tension in her shoulders softening just enough for her to breathe deeper. "All right," she says finally. "Just for a few nights." Relief flickers through Ethan's eyes, subtle but unmistakable. "Thank you for trusting me." They leave the cafe together. The night air is colder now, but the warmth from inside lingers on Maya's skin. As the SUV door closes behind her, she wonders when she last felt safe inside a vehicle at night. The answer comes too quickly. She cannot remember at all. The driver heads downtown, and the city lights slowly climb higher around them. Ethan speaks quietly, almost reflective. "I grew up not far from here. My family lost everything when I was young. I know what it feels like to be on the edge of things." Maya turns to him, surprised. "You? But your wallet, this car. You seem like someone who has always been secure." Ethan gives a faint, rueful smile. "That is the thing about security. You can gain it back, but you never really forget the years when you did not have it." His words land deeper than he intends, stirring something unsteady in her chest. She looks back toward the window, watching the reflections of streetlights streak across the glass. A few minutes later, the SUV stops at a modern hotel with warm lighting and understated elegance. Not flashy, just clean, safe, and quietly beautiful. Ethan steps out first and gestures toward the entrance. "This place is called Harbor Suites. It is one of my smaller properties," he says gently. "But the staff are good people. They will take care of you." Maya hesitates at the curb, overwhelmed by how out of place she feels. Her coat looks thinner under the entrance lights, her backpack more worn, her shoes too quiet against the polished stone walkway. Ethan notices. "Maya," he says softly, "walking through that door does not make you someone else. It just gives you a safe night." She nods slowly and follows him inside. The lobby is warm, filled with soft music and the smell of cedar. A receptionist greets Ethan immediately. "Mr. Cole, good evening." Maya stops mid-step. Ethan nods politely but does not elaborate. He simply says, "Please prepare a room for Miss Maya. She will be staying with us for the next few nights." The receptionist smiles warmly at Maya. "Of course, welcome." Maya stands there frozen, her breath catching at the casual revelation. Mr. Cole, he owns this place. Everything inside her shifts, just slightly, as the truth begins to form a shape she did not expect. But he does not look at her with superiority. He looks at her with something gentler, something steady. "Let us get you settled," Ethan says quietly. "You have had a long day." And for the first time in a long time, Maya feels the day might actually be ending with something close to relief. Maya follows the receptionist down the quiet hallway, her footsteps barely making a sound on the soft carpet. Every detail feels surreal. The gentle lighting, the subtle scent of cedar and linen, the calm silence that wraps itself around her like a blanket she has not earned. When the room door opens, warm air spills out, carrying the promise of a kind of safety she has not known in months. "This will be your room, Miss Maya," the receptionist says kindly. "If you need anything at all, just dial 0. Maya nods, murmuring a shy thank you. When the door closes, she stands alone in the stillness. The room is simple but elegant, with clean sheets, thick curtains, and a small lamp glowing on the nightstand. She places her backpack gently on the floor, unsure whether she is allowed to sit on the bed. Eventually, she lowers herself to the edge of it, feeling the mattress dip softly beneath her weight. For a long moment, she simply breathes. The world outside seems far away. The ache in her legs fades, replaced by an unfamiliar awareness of how quiet she feels inside. Her eyes sting with the sudden burn of tears she has held back for too long. There is a knock on the door. Maya wipes her eyes quickly and opens it. Ethan stands there, not stepping inside, just offering a respectful distance. "I wanted to make sure you got settled," he says. "Is everything all right?" "Yes," Maya replies softly. "More than all right." Ethan nods, relief touching his expression. "Good. I will not take more of your time tonight. You should rest. But if you need anything, the front desk knows how to reach me." Maya hesitates. "Ethan, thank you. Truly." He meets her gaze with calm sincerity. "You deserve safety, Maya, at least for tonight." She nods once, and he offers a small, warm smile before stepping away. When the door clicks shut, Maya sits on the bed again. She glances at the small welcome basket on the table, bottled water, fruit, and a sandwich wrapped neatly. Her stomach tightens with sudden hunger. She eats slowly, appreciating every bite, feeling warmth spread through her chest as the food settles. Afterwards, she showers. The hot water runs over her shoulders, loosening the knots in her muscles, washing away the cold that had lived under her skin for days. Her reflection in the mirror looks different, still tired, still uncertain, but somehow less weighed down. Wrapped in a soft towel, she steps back into the room. For the first time in a long while, the bed feels like an invitation, rather than a reminder of what she lacks. She slips under the covers. The sheets smell clean, warm, safe. As she lies there, she hears the faint hum of the city outside the window. Not threatening, not cold, just alive. She closes her eyes, letting the warmth settle deeper. Her thoughts drift back to Ethan, the sincerity in his eyes, the quiet steadiness in his voice, the way he treated her, not as a problem or an inconvenience, but as someone worth listening to. It feels strange. It feels dangerous. It feels hopeful. Just before she drifts into sleep, she whispers to herself, "It is only for a few nights." But even she hears the uncertainty in her own voice. Because deep inside, Maya senses this night is not an ending. It is the beginning of something neither she nor Ethan has fully understood yet. Morning sunlight filters softly through the curtains when Maya wakes. For a moment, she forgets where she is. The sheets beneath her feel too clean, too warm, too steady to belong to her old life. Then memory returns slowly. The cafe, the ride, Ethan's voice at her door, the quiet safety of this room. She sits up, brushing a hand through her still damp hair, listening to the faint hum of city traffic several floors below. A normal day for everyone else, a completely different world for her. There is a small knock. Maya's heart jumps. She pulls her coat tighter before opening the door. A hotel staff member smiles gently and hands her a breakfast tray. "This is from Mr. Cole," the woman says. "He asked us to make sure you start your morning well." Maya thanks her, closes the door, and sets the tray on the small table. Fresh fruit, eggs, toast, orange juice. The sight alone feels unreal. She eats slowly, each bite grounding her in a mixture of gratitude and disbelief. When she finishes, another knock sounds. This time, it is Ethan. He stands with a careful posture, hands in his coat pockets, as if afraid to intrude. "Good morning, Maya. I hope I am not disturbing you." "You are not," she answers, trying to calm the nervous flutter in her chest. "I wanted to see how your night was," he says, "and I have something to ask." Maya gestures for him to continue. Ethan steps a little closer, still respectful of the space between them. "My company has a community outreach program. We fund small projects across the city, and we need someone who understands the realities people face on the ground, someone who can give honest insight." Maya blinks, unsure what he is implying. "You mean, you want me to help?" Ethan nods slowly. "I want to offer you a short-term position, a paid position, nothing complicated. You would meet with people, gather feedback, help us understand where support actually makes a difference." Maya's pulse stirs with a mix of fear and something dangerously close to hope. "But why me? I have no experience. I'm not qualified." "That is exactly why you are qualified," Ethan says quietly. "You see things people in office towers cannot. You have lived what many of them only read in reports." She looks away, struggling with the weight of his words. "I do not want to be someone's charity case." Ethan shakes his head. "This is not charity. It is trust and recognition. You helped me without expecting anything. Now let me offer you a chance to stand on your own feet again." The sincerity in his tone settles over her like a warm coat. She feels the instinct to refuse, the habit of shrinking back when offered anything good. But beneath that instinct is something new, something she has not allowed herself to feel in a long time. Possibility. She asks quietly, "What would I need to do first?" Ethan smiles, a soft, relieved expression. "Come with me to our office today. Meet the team. See where you would fit. If you decide it is not right for you, we walk away with no pressure." Maya hesitates only a moment longer before she nods. "All right, I can try." "Good," Ethan says. "We leave in an hour. Take your time." After he steps out, Maya closes the door and leans back against it. Her heart pounds with a mixture of excitement and fear. She looks around the room, at the bed, the breakfast tray, the neatly folded towel by the bathroom door. For the first time in months, she feels the shape of her life shifting, not by force, but by choice. She breathes deeply. Today might be the day everything changes. Ethan returns exactly on time, knocking once before waiting patiently in the hallway. Maya steps out, wearing the same clothes as yesterday but standing a little straighter than before. She follows him to the elevator, her palms slightly damp, her thoughts circling in quiet loops of fear and anticipation. The ride to Ethan's company takes less than 15 minutes, but every block feels like a new world rising around her. Glass buildings catch the morning sun, throwing bright reflections across the SUV windows. When they pull into the underground parking area, Maya feels her breath tighten. Ethan notices. "If at any point this feels overwhelming, just tell me," he says. "You are not here to impress anyone. You are here to see if this place can give you a fair start." Maya nods, steadying herself. "I will try." They step into a private elevator. As the doors close, she feels the faint vibration of the rising lift under her feet, a sensation that makes her think of floors she has never stood upon, opportunities she has never touched. The elevator stops at a quiet executive floor. Glass walls, clean lines, and calm lighting set an atmosphere that feels nothing like the world she has survived until now. Several employees greet Ethan with respectful nods. "Good morning, Mr. Cole." Maya freezes at the sound of the title again. The ease with which people address him as someone important makes her more aware of the gulf between their worlds. Ethan's voice cuts gently into her spiraling thoughts. "This way," he says, guiding her toward a conference room with wide windows overlooking the city. Inside, a woman in her 40s with a calm presence stands up. "Maya, this is Claire. She leads our community outreach division." Claire smiles warmly. "It is good to meet you. Ethan has spoken highly of you." Maya's eyes widen slightly. "He has?" Claire nods. "Yes, the story of how you returned his wallet reached our team. That level of integrity is something we value." Ethan gestures for Maya to sit. She does so carefully, trying not to appear too aware of her worn coat or the faint scuff marks on her shoes. Claire begins by asking simple questions: where she has lived, the neighborhoods she knows best, the challenges people face every day. Maya answers honestly, not dressing anything up, not apologizing for her experience. As she speaks, something changes in the room. Claire listens deeper. Ethan watches with quiet pride. Maya's voice becomes steadier, more grounded, as if she is discovering her own value while explaining the world she comes from. When the conversation ends, Claire folds her hands thoughtfully. Maya, you would be an asset to what we are building. The role we are offering is not symbolic. It is meaningful work, and it will be fairly paid. Maya feels her heartbeat push against her ribs. Ethan adds softly, "You do not need to decide today, but I hope you will consider it." Maya looks from Claire to Ethan, her throat tightening with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. I never imagined someone would want my opinion on anything. I never thought I had anything worth offering. Ethan's expression deepens, steady and sincere. You have knowledge earned through surviving, not studying. That kind of insight changes how we help people. You are not here to be pitied. You are here because you matter. The words strike her harder than she expects. She looks out the large windows at the city spread beneath them, the same city where she once slept behind a laundromat. Now she is standing inside a boardroom with people who actually want to hear her voice. The contrast makes her eyes prickle. Ethan notices, but he does not draw attention to it. "Come," he says gently. "Let me show you the rest of the office." As they walk through the hallways, Maya senses a shifting balance inside her. For the first time in a very long time, she is not surviving moment by moment. She is beginning to imagine a future. Ethan leads Maya through the main hallway, stopping occasionally to introduce her to staff members who greet her with polite warmth. Each introduction chips away at the old beliefs she has carried for too long, the ones that told her she did not belong in places like this. The more she walks, the more she feels a quiet shift inside herself, a careful, trembling hope that she is learning to hold without breaking. After the tour, Ethan guides her to a quieter part of the floor, where tall glass panels muffle the sounds of the office. A long window stretches across the wall, offering a sweeping view of the city. The skyline looks endless from this height, layered with buildings she has only ever passed at ground level. "Take a moment," Ethan says, stepping slightly behind her. "You do not have to say anything. I just want you to see what I see." Maya approaches the glass. Her reflection stares back. The worn coat, the tired eyes, the uncertainty. But behind that reflection is an entire city glowing in the morning light. For the first time, she realizes she is standing inside a world she never imagined touching. She arches her arms around herself, unsure what to do with the surge of emotion rising in her chest. Ethan speaks softly. "Maya, you are not here because of luck. You are here because of your integrity. That is something people cannot fake." She closes her eyes briefly, steadying herself. "I still do not know if I belong here." "You do," Ethan says without hesitation. "And if you choose to take this job, you will earn every part of it." His certainty lands deep, but so does the weight of her past. She steps back from the window, her mind spinning. "Ethan, I am grateful, truly, but I do not want to become dependent on anyone. I have survived alone for a long time." Ethan nods, understanding her fear far more than she expects. "I know what it feels like to hold everything together with nothing but willpower. I am not asking you to depend on me. I am offering you the chance to stand on your own. I will walk beside you, not in front of you." The sincerity in his voice shakes her. It feels dangerous because it feels genuine. Before she can answer, Claire approaches with a folder in hand. "Maya, I have drafted a preliminary outline of what your first month might look like, only if you decide to join us." Claire hands her the folder. Maya holds it carefully, as if it might crumble under her fingers. Inside are simple tasks: meeting community partners, documenting challenges in low-income areas, visiting support centers. Nothing complicated, nothing impossible, but everything meaningful. "You think I can do all this?" Maya asks quietly. "I know you can," Claire says. "You speak from lived experience. That is something this team needs." Maya closes the folder slowly. I want to try. I want to see if I can do something that matters." Ethan smiles. That is all we needed to hear. But the moment of triumph is short-lived. As they walk back toward the elevator, Maya's steps falter. Her hand tightens around the strap of her backpack. The reality of stepping into a new world hits her all at once. Too fast, too bright. She stops in the hallway, voice trembling. "I am scared, Ethan." He turns toward her gently. "I know. I have been alone for so long. Every time something good happens, it disappears. I do not know if I can trust any of this." Ethan steps closer, not touching her, just offering his steady presence. "Maya, you are not here because of pity or accident. You are here because of who you are. And nothing in this building can change that." Her breath wavers. "What if I fail?" "Then you will learn, not fall," Ethan answers. "And I will make sure you do not walk that road alone." Those words settle deep in her chest, softening the fear enough for her to breathe again. The elevator doors open. Ethan gestures gently. "Come on, there is one more place I want to show you before we end the day." Maya steps inside, her heart still trembling, but no longer turning away. For the first time, she lets herself believe the path ahead might actually belong to her. The elevator opens onto a quiet terrace, reserved for staff breaks and moments of breath between long meetings. It is simple, lined with a few benches, tall planters, and a railing that overlooks the river stretching across the city. The afternoon sun reflects on the water in soft gold streaks, and for a moment, Maya is unsure why Ethan has brought her here. He steps beside her, resting his palms lightly on the railing. "This place helped me get through some difficult years," he says. "Whenever I question myself, I came here to remember that the world is bigger than whatever fear I was facing." Maya moves closer, her fingers hovering above the railing before finally resting there. The breeze carries a faint chill, but it is not the biting cold she once braced herself against on street corners. It feels cleaner, gentler, almost encouraging. She exhales slowly. It is beautiful. Ethan studies her profile, the way the wind catches loose strands of her hair. "So are you, Maya. Not because of how you look, but because of the strength it took to survive everything you have survived." Her breath stutters slightly, but she does not pull away. Instead, she watches the river below, the steady flow reminding her of something she has forgotten: movement, possibility, renewal. After a quiet moment, she says, "I think I want to take the job, Ethan." He turns fully toward her. "You do?" She nods, her voice soft but firm. "I want to try. I want to help. I want to rebuild my life, and I want to believe that good things do not always disappear." A slow smile forms on his face, warm and profoundly relieved. "Then you have my support, completely." They stand in silence, letting the weight of that decision settle. For Maya, it feels like she has stepped across an invisible threshold into a version of herself she once thought she had lost. After a few minutes, Ethan reaches into his coat pocket. "There is something I want to show you." He pulls out the metallic business card she almost dropped into a puddle the day they met. The card gleams in the sunlight as he holds it out to her. "This card is the reason I found you," he says softly. "But your kindness is what kept you in my thoughts. I want you to have this, not as a symbol of who I am, but as a reminder of who you are." She hesitates, overwhelmed, but eventually takes it. Her fingers brush his, and the moment stretches in quiet recognition. Maya whispers, "I do not know what my life will look like from here." Ethan replies, "It will look like choice. It will look like dignity. And if you allow it, it can also look like a future where you are not alone." Her chest tightens in a way that feels both frightening and safe. "Ethan, I do not know how to thank you." "You already did," he says gently. "You changed my life before I ever had the chance to help change yours." The breeze carries his words across the terrace, settling between them with a quiet certainty. Maya looks at him, really looks, and realizes this man, this CEO, this stranger whose wallet she returned, is no longer simply someone she helped. He is someone she trusts, someone who sees her, someone she is beginning to care for deeply. Ethan steps a little closer, not forcing the moment, simply sharing it. "I know this is new. I know it is fragile, but I would like to walk this road with you, not as a rescuer, not as someone above you, but as someone who chooses you." Maya's eyes glisten, but she does not look away. "I would like that too." A soft smile breaks between them, warm as the sunlight slipping across the river. The city hums quietly below, but up here, the world feels still, suspended in a moment that neither of them expected, yet both of them silently wished for. Maya closes her hand around the metallic card, a symbol of everything that brought them to this point, and realizes it no longer represents someone else's world. It represents the beginning of her own. And beside her, Ethan stands not as a distant millionaire, but as the man who fell in love with the woman who chose kindness when no one was watching.